Brain Performancelab is a theater and movement arts company that has been making work in the Bay Area since 1999. Our work embodies a style that is a unique hybrid of dance, vocal work, mime, clowning, musical theater, mask work, and puppetry. This year's show is called Gravity and Other Large Things, a love letter to the force that grounds us and holds the universe together. In it, we explore the deep, absurd, and often disturbing ideas and metaphors behind that deceptively simple concept. The piece is a lot of fun, in our signature style in which comedy emerges from the shadows. But we need your help. Ours is a scrappy, DIY, underground way of working that seeks to promote a politics of intimacy and a sense of collaborative awareness in the world, bringing the art to where we live to the art. We have been working together, some of us, for over a decade. We are, most of us, over 40. We have kids. We are still here, and still making work. It's getting harder, though. Funding is competitive, especially for our generation. It's rare to find artists in the prime of their lives still making work and doing the kinds of things that we do. We feel that we have something interesting and important to share with you. We have been told by our audience members that what we have to say is singular and worth every penny. Your donation, no matter how big or small, will be a huge help on the way to paying our rent for the theater at No Space, where our show will take place in October 2012. Please help us by making your donation today. Thank you so much.
You know, whether you're talking about actual gravity, whether you're talking about, you know, earthquakes and tides or global warming, or you're talking about, you know, the economy and
planetary motion
and people falling down.
It binds the universe together.
Yes.
Actually, that's the...
Thank you, Yoda.
That's
Close.
It's a subject we could all relate to, having a lot of personal experience.
And also being over 40, gravity becomes really important.
Well, metaphorically speaking, gravity is also the importance of a situation, or it's not just the force of gravity. It can also be, you know, something gravitas, right? Something is very important,
or it wants to be important.
right?
And there were these muds and moos, we used to call them, where you go into these text-based environments. They were, you know, you could...
Multi-user dimensions.
Dungeons.
Yes.
Multi-user dungeons.
Well, and also dimensions.
And dimensions.
Right.
We used to call them dungeons, though.
Well, they started out as dungeons, but then once, because other ones were built that had nothing to do with dungeons, so then they became multi-user dimensions.
And then there were...
That was a super geeky conversation.
But this is where we go. So... You know, back then you would create a whole world out of text, and you could really see that it had no gravity. It had no, nothing holding it down. It was just words. And, but then currently, it's really interesting, things like Second Life, even though it's so visual, and you see, you know, people look like people, and things look like things, and you build things, and they fall, or they sink, or they lift up, and it's so, you know, sort of hyper real, but it still has no gravity because it's still really text under all that stuff. So there's some of that, you know, the idea that we're using text, that we're trying to embody our text somehow.
Everything is up for grabs.
Oh yeah.
You have to be careful what you say in rehearsal, because it will end up on stage.
Yes. I'm a firm believer in the happy accident. Sometimes the happy accident is actually more where your brain is than the thing that you spent 30 minutes coming up with.
Stoops, stoops, stoops.
Stoops, 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 stoops.